put these here and I think that will look beautiful.
Oh yes, I think so too.
In communities across the country, residents funded by their local councils are planting out the suburbs, cooling down the streets ahead of summer and doing what they can to tackle a global challenge.
Because planting trees is a great way to address climate change. Trees obviously capture carbon.
Now I'm on the roof here today for a reason. We've just finished installing 250 solar panels on the roof of this building.
The town of Victoria Park in Perth's metropolitan area has just launched its climate emergency plan, aiming to reach net zero by 2030.
That seems quite ambitious.
Well, I think if you're not ambitious with plans like these, there's probably no point in starting.
The council's pledged to hit its target as much as possible by what's called direct action, reducing their emissions rather than relying on carbon offsets. Even for this small council, the predicted impacts of climate change are a major concern.
Of course, the town sits on the banks of the Swan River and we've got over 6 kilometres of Swan River frontage, so it's really important that we manage that because rising sea levels is another indicator of climate change.
Victoria Park's one of 103 local authorities nationwide to declare a climate emergency. Darebin City Council in Melbourne was the first, back in 2016.
We've got inland councils, rural councils, councils that have been devastated by bushfire or flood, and their communities see firsthand that the climate risks are not in the future, they're today.
Darebin's now one of 46 local governments in Victoria to join forces to source their power needs from wind energy.
Effectively, it's the same as taking 90,000 cars off the road or about 45,000 houses off the fossil fuel grid.
Other councils are keen to follow suit. The city of Canning in Perth's southern suburbs hasn't declared a climate emergency but has set a target of net zero by 2030.
Oh, I think we have to, don't we? Local government is completely connected to the community. We're at the grassroots of climate action.
It's trying to inspire residents too, teaming up with a local tech company to run community workshops.
I guess the role we're playing in this pilot project is we're providing a platform for you guys to actually measure your impact and your carbon footprint.
It's all about behaviour. So we're trying to change behaviour. We're trying to form a community of like-minded people that want to see genuine change in the climate action space.
But councils say they need more state and federal government investment to become carbon neutral. Currently, the West Australian government is chipping in to help local governments make street lighting more energy efficient.
Well, the state government provides grants to local government, particularly regional local governments, to essentially tackle some of the issues around climate change, whether it's mitigation or resilience.
But councils say it's not enough. Despite the McGowan government revealing plans to build Australia's longest highway of charging stations this week, there's no plan to help local authorities switch to electric vehicles. Greens MP Brad Pettitt, previously the Mayor of Fremantle, says climate-conscious councils are often hamstrung by government policy.
What we actually need is local governments being helped to electrify their fleet, around reductions in stamp duty.
The town of Victoria Park predicts it'll cost about $8 million to complete its journey towards net zero, and it hopes to do it without households footing the bill.
I would not like people to think that us addressing a climate change emergency is something that only comes at a cost of higher rates. I believe it doesn't have to. We just need to be innovative and agile about how we do it.
The national body representing councils is pushing for a $200 million federal fund to help local governments adapt. Claire Moodie, ABC News.